It's Super NFL Wildcard Weekend, and across 3 apps, we can win well over $2 million. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jason Mattis, of course, with Winning Bets, and it's a big, exciting weekend in the NFL. It's the biggest wildcard weekend ever in the NFL. It's Super Wildcard Weekend because there's now a game on Monday Night Football. How exciting is that going to be? And we can also win a lot of money thanks to our friends across 3 different apps. We can win $2 million over there on the NBC Sports Predictor app. We can win another $100,000 over on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. And we can win $4,000 over on the Yahoo Fantasy Slate app. I'm going to do this one a little bit different. Of course, I did all the research like I normally do, but instead of, in terms of giving you guys the answer and regurgitating, kind of my research and how the stats kind of look, and then spitting out an answer for you, I just want to sit back, talk some football. It's been a fun, exciting 18 weeks in the NFL. We've had a blast each and every single week. Let's just talk about these games in kind of an open, free-flowing kind of manner. And then after we kind of talk about each game, then I'll kind of go through my answers right there for you. So that's how we'll kind of do it here on today's show. With that being said, let's first start it off, though, with giving away some money on the NBC Sports Predictor app. You guys remember each and every week during that NFL regular season, I was giving away $25. That contest is now completed. We're not going to carry that over on into the postseason, but we do got to give away the $25 there for NFL Week 18. If we look at the standings, it looks like C Money comes in first place with 30 points. C Money won a few times this season, so congratulations to them. They won again, taking home another $25. So hit me up on Twitter, drop me your PayPal information, and I'll go ahead and send you $25. And again, guys, we're not going to carry that contest over on in the postseason. That's over. We did it during the regular season. Had a phenomenal job, time with you guys. And of course, we'll run back this same contest next season of me giving you guys some money, who is the winner of the Winning Bets group. Let's go ahead and stay on this NBC Sports Predictor app, and let's start with the Saturday afternoon game. Let's go ahead and look at the Raiders versus the Bengals. What do you guys think about this game? I think this one is going to be good. Obviously, these teams hooked up in Week 10, and the Bengals took care of them relatively easy. That game was even in Las Vegas, and the Bengals were able to go in there and take care of them relatively easy, winning by double digits. I think it was like 33-17, if I recall correctly. That was the final score, and the Bengals, on the road, I think that was a really impressive performance, but that was Week 10. Keep in mind that, depending on how you look at it, like you can say, well, that wasn't that long ago. Or in the NFL, that's 8 weeks. That's a really long time in the NFL. These teams go on ebbs and flows. They change. Strengths become weaknesses. Weaknesses become strengths. So I actually think that Week 10 matchup was actually a fair amount a long time ago. Of course, both of these teams and the coaching staff will lean on that game, and they'll draw on that, and they'll be able to do things similar to it in terms of what was successful in that game. But I think there will be enough difference in that. Look at this Raiders team, for example. Look how much better they've gotten since Week 10, pulling out dramatic wins all along the season, even including the last couple weeks, even including that finale there against the Chargers. What a phenomenal game. My wife and I were watching that game. She ended up going to bed early when the Chargers jumped out, or not the Chargers, the Chargers jumped out to, or not the Chargers, the Raiders jumped out to that 15-point lead. She thought the game was over. I stood there and watched it because that was just such an exciting game. This Raiders team, they've got heart. They've got heart. They've looked significantly better since John Gruden's gone ahead and left that team. There's some real fight in there. They're competing. They're looking good, and they're getting wins. Absolutely, this team getting wins. So, and the Raiders are obviously getting Darren Waller back. That's obviously going to help them. So, I think that matters how you win and how you come into the postseason. I think definitely carries some weight, and they're coming into it obviously with a lot of momentum right there, kicking that game-winning field goal there in overtime against the Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, I think they're going to be the trendy pick here. It's going to be hard not to pick the Bengals. But just the Bengals don't come in, obviously, all that great, right? They sat Joe Mixon in the final. They also sat Joe Burrow also in the final. Coming in, they lost that game up against it. You didn't want to do that. You hate to see injuries. You hate to see COVID kind of make this team not stumble, but they just didn't really look all that good. But you can sit there and say they didn't have their pieces, and they'll be just fine for this game at home, and I'm not going to maybe disagree a whole lot. Obviously, they've got Jamar Chase. He's their big guy, but they've got a lot of other weapons. The Raiders are going to need to stop Jamar Chase, but don't stop him at a cost to where these other weapons go off, because the Bengals have some really good pieces. Obviously, Joe Mixon up out of the backfield as well. So fascinating to see how this game will kind of unfold. Kind of talked about it on my daily show about how underdogs are really successful in the wild card round. They're 15-7 in the last 5 years against the spread, and unders are hitting at a 63.6% rate in the wild card round is the over-unders in this. So I think this will be a good game. I just like the heart and fight of this Raiders team. This one's going to be a good game. Let's go ahead now and jump on into this NBC Sports Predictor app and see how we'll go ahead and answer these questions. For question 1, we got Derek Carr passing yards and completions. Let's go ahead and do 240 to 279 yards and 25 to 27 completions. For Joe Burrow, we'll go ahead and put him at 240 to 279 passing yards, but 2 touchdowns. For Josh Jacobs, we'll do 85 to 89 yards and 3 receptions. For Joe Mixon, let's go ahead and do 95 to 109 yards and he'll have 4 receptions. For Hunter Renfrow, he's got to have a bigger game than what he did up against the Chargers. I think he will have a better game than against those Chargers. Although he caught 2 touchdowns in that game, he just wasn't quite getting as number of receptions. He's going to do better in this game. He's going to have 6 receptions for 80 plus yards. Jamar Chase, this is the guy. This is the guy in this prop right here. You could obviously win and lose it on a lot of these questions, but this one really will come down to how do the Raiders defend Jamar Chase? Do they want to maybe let all the other guys not have a big day and just kind of live with Jamar Chase, or are they going to shut him down? This one's going to be tricky. I've got him at 5 receptions and 60 to 84 yards. Then the last question is always give them a winner and give them a win margin. I wish you could just take a team and take the spread, because I would do Raiders plus 5.5. That's the current line across the sports books. I like that. I feel more comfortable taking Raiders plus 5.5 because I think the Raiders maybe could win this game. I'm not going to pick the Raiders to win this game. You can obviously see it here in the screenshot. I'm on Bengals. I'm on Bengals to win the 4.5, but it's playoffs. Of course, anything can happen, but just the way the underdogs have generally been performing in the playoffs over the handful of years. They've been covering the spread, though, and I think they can cover this spread. That's why I've only got the Bengals winning this game by 4-5. That Raiders team has just got some incredible fight coming down to the stretch, getting into the playoffs. So I'll give me the Bengals winning this game. I think they'll win this game by 4 to 5 points, and that'll kick off NFL Wildcard Weekend. I think we'll be getting a good game to go ahead and sit back and enjoy Saturday afternoon. All right, let's stay on this NBC Sports Predictor app. We've got a game on Sunday night. It's the normal Sunday night football game. It was going to be between the Steelers and the Chiefs. For this one, I hate to say it, but how bad are the Chiefs going to beat the Steelers? Unless you're in on this Big Ben, farewell tour, but I've watched a lot of Steelers games this year, probably like you have. That offense is not impressive. Give that defense some credit. I love, the defensive line, obviously, by Watt, interior there. They've got some good pieces there at linebacker. Defensive-wise, okay. Offensive-wise, it's really not all that impressive. Obviously, Najee Harris, he's been really impressive so far as a rookie. Obviously, the guy, he gets all the carries in that. Offensive-wise, not a lot of pieces there at wide receiver. Chase Claypool didn't have a great sophomore season, coming off a spectacular rookie season. Deontay Johnson, I don't know why Big Ben goes to him so much. It seems like he's got a real big case of the drops. Led the league in last year in drops. Definitely cleaned it up this season, but you saw them coming down the stretch. He was definitely getting a little bit of a case of the drops. Not big on this offense. I don't see how this offense can keep up with the Chiefs. They'll get some points, and they'll be able to move the ball at times, but if you're just comparing these two teams offensively wise, it's the Chiefs all no-brainer, and it's the Chiefs' really ability to, I think, really just put the Steelers away. The Steelers at one point in this game will turn into one-dimensional, which is a shame because Najee Harris, he's just a big strength of what they do. It's been fun to watch in his rookie campaign. But yeah, the Chiefs will absolutely, I think, run away with this game. Maybe the Steelers, get a late touchdown to kind of backdoor it a little bit here to make the score look a little bit more respectable. But at Arrowhead, Sunday night, Big Ben's farewell tour can only last but so long, and maybe his, shining moment so far in his last season was just making the playoffs, right? I don't think he's going to progress farther on in this playoff. So, yeah, Chiefs at home, spectacular offense. Chiefs been really looking good. Obviously, the last handful of weeks stumbled earlier on the season. They were very vulnerable. They weren't covering spreads. Anybody could really hang with the Chiefs. That narrative kind of changed towards late in the season. They were looking pretty good, getting their feet up under them. So, yeah, I'm going to be on the Chiefs on this one. I'm going to be on the Chiefs relatively big. Let's go ahead now and run through these questions here on the NBC Sports Predictor. I've got Patrick Mahomes. Go ahead and give me 260 to 299 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. For Ben Roethlisberger, we'll do 240 to 269 passing yards and 30 completions. This is a pass-happy offense. They run it a lot, but boy, do they just absolutely love to pass the ball. Question 3 for Travis Kelce, I'll say 6 receptions for 70 to 89 yards. For number 4, Najee Harris, he'll get 75 to 94 yards and 0 to 2 receptions. For Tyreek Hill, he'll have 7 receptions for 90 to 109 yards. And Deontay Johnson around, he'll have 9+ catches. For whatever reason, Big Ben loves this guy. He's got some pretty good separation. He can get off man-to-man coverage and find the holes in zone. I'm just not a big Deontay Johnson guy, but Big Ben Roethlisberger, he likes him. According to the research, that's all that matters. So we'll say 9+ receptions for 75 to 89 yards. And who's going to win the game and what's going to be the win margin? You already know I'm on the Chiefs. I'm going to say 12 to 13 points just because if it is a little bit closer than maybe what I think, then I think 12 to 13 feels pretty good. But then it also kind of gives you that backdoor option. If you're a gambler, you kind of know how the backdoor cover really comes into play sort of late in these games on softer coverage. So maybe the Steelers can maybe backdoor us into that 12 to 13 win margin. So it'll be Chiefs to win by 12 to 13 for me. So that does it there on the NBC Sports Predictor app. Now let's jump over to the Fox Bet Super 6 app where we can win $100,000. These questions around the Eagles versus Bucks game. What do you guys think about this one? This one is really going to test the Eagles because, A, you got Jalen Hurts. Don't know what he's going to be so far in the playoffs. It's a little bit of an unknown for him. Their strength is running the ball. We know the Buccaneers' strength on defense is absolutely their rush defense, top 3 in the league. It's their secondary that you can go ahead and pick apart, but will Jalen Hurts go ahead? Will he be able to go ahead and pick that apart? Weather looks a little bad. So maybe they'll be run heavy, but now you're running into the strength of that Buccaneers defense, you know, and if we are talking a little bit of bad weather, I don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to be able to get it. You're talking maybe some rain, you're talking maybe some wind going on. So, yeah, I don't know. The Eagles, this one's, I hate to say it like it's going to be a blowout or it's going to be a close game. You're going to be sitting there and saying, yeah, no shit. I mean, those are the two possibilities, right? But this one really does feel like the Eagles, they could potentially struggle to hang with the Bucs. This is the time, right? You got the GOAT. You got a really good coach in Arians. This is going to be their time. I mean, going into Lambeau last year and pulling off the win on the way to a Super Bowl victory, this is the GOAT time. This is his time, right? This is why he's the GOAT. He's got all the rings. He's got all the accolades. This is his time to shine. So, and when obviously the Bucs offense, you know, it's good. Lost some pieces, obviously, there with Godwin going down. But you get Playoff Lenny's back. Playoff Lenny. He's got the name Playoff Lenny for a reason. Leonard Fournette is a beast when it comes to the playoffs. Cannot stop Playoff Lenny at this time of the year come January. So I look for this Bucs team to kind of roll relatively easy. Like their defensive strength to be able to take away really that Philly strength. I think it could be a long day here for the Buccaneers. Let's go ahead now and jump into these questions. And before I do that, I'm just going to throw this out. I hate this app. I mean, I absolutely hate it. The amount of luck it takes. I mean, these pick windows, first of all, the questions, punt return average, kick return average. And then if you think you got an advantage where if you're like, okay, the Eagles or Bucs will have the punt or the kicker advantage, the pick window is 1 yard. I mean, I hate this app. Way too much luck. There's a reason why nobody wins this. They're giving away money when they do the pick the 6 games and you got to get them 6 winners and 6 margins. That they go ahead and give away the money. This Thursday night contest, where it was basically these questions, they didn't give away the money all season long. Hate this game. I don't know if I'm going to be making video for this game next season unless they make improvements. Just absolutely hate this game. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. The question 1, I'm going to go ahead and say there'll be 5 total touchdowns. For question 2, I'll say Eagles and 23 yards. For question 3, I'll say Eagles and 43 yards. For question 4, I'll say Buccaneers and 44 to 45 yards. Question 5, I'll say Eagles and 42 tackles. And for question number 6, what's that winner and what's that win margin? I'll go ahead and say the Bucs will win the game by 13 to 14 points. Let me do that again. Those slides kind of popped through really fast. So I've got 5 total touchdowns. Question 2 is Eagles and 23 yards. Question 3 is Eagles and 43 yards. 4 is Buccaneers 44 to 45 yards. Question 5 is Eagles and 42 tackles. And then question 6, you can still see in the screenshot, I've got Bucs win the game by 13 to 14 points. Okay, last app is now the Yahoo Fantasy Slate app. You can win $2,000 on Saturday, and you can win $2,000 on Sunday. Let's, of course, start with Saturday. I like this app. You talk about a night and day between this app and Fox Bet Super 6 app. This app takes skill. All this stuff generally takes luck, but at least this app, it's just a lot more fair. Really like this app. We've hit a couple jackpots so far on this app. I do enjoy this app. Let's go ahead and jump into it, and if there's a game that we get to that maybe we haven't already talked about, then kind of maybe expand a little bit longer and give you guys my thoughts on that. But question 1 is who's going to win between the Raiders and Bengals? Go ahead and give me the Bengals winning that game. Over, under, what's going to be the over 49.5? I got over, but I've got the score at 27-23. So when I say over, boy, I mean just barely over by half a point. But I think we'll get there in a 27-23 game. How many will be the number of defensive pass interference in this game? I think 4 plus. 4 plus. Both these teams will take shots, at least with Jamar Chase. I think they'll certainly be taking shots. They're not going to let him just grab a long touchdown and run away from it. So they'll be grabbing him and getting defensive pass interference. Number of touchdowns there for Joe Mixon. I think he'll have 1 touchdown on Saturday afternoon. Question, then these next ones actually talked about the Bills. Bills versus the Patriots. Who's going to win the game? The Buffalo Bills are going to win the game. Look, the Bills were in a close battle. Obviously, the first time they met this season, terrible weather. Everybody knows Mac Jones only had 3 pass attempts. Thought you were watching a game from 1940, the way they were just so damn run heavy. And the Bills were right in that game. Stephon Diggs had a big drop in that game, so they didn't lose that game all that bad. Saturday night's going to be good weather. It's going to be cold as all get out. It's going to be cold. It's not going to be pleasant for the players, but the weather will be fine. No snow, no wind. You saw what happened in the rematch when it was good weather. The Bills showed that they're the better team, and they're the better team by a pretty good bit currently right now over this Patriots team, led by far the superior quarterback there in Josh Allen. Yeah, the Bills are easily going to win this game. So question 5 is Bills easily for me. What will be over under 43.5 points? I'll take the over because I think the Bills will get to 30 points. And then you're saying, can the Patriots get 14 or more? I think they'll do that. They got that in the second matchup. Hell, they got that in the first matchup. So yeah, they'll easily get up over 43.5 points, I think, in that game. What will be the game temperature? Go 14 or below. Look that up before getting in here. They're talking about a kickoff weather at 8. So for this question to be at 14 or below or 15 plus, I think it's a steal right there. Lock in 14 or below there for the game time temperature, and that's obviously at kickoff is what they're asking right there. Which running back duo will have more rushing yards? It's easily Patriots. That is their strength, that offensive line. They are just strong. Absolutely strong in the trenches. They ran for over 100 yards in each game. Obviously, that's all they did in the first game, but even the second game, when it was more of an open kind of game, what you'll get here in this one, they still rushed for over 100 yards. So, yeah, Harrison, Stevenson all day long for me. They'll have a nice ground game there. And then pass attempts for Mac Jones. I'll go ahead and say Mac Jones because Patriots will be coming from behind and then really coming from behind late in the game where I think they'll be, pass happy, trying to claw their way back in the game. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and easily take 21 or more? Yeah, 21 or more pass attempts there for Mac Jones. All right, let's see if we can't win $2 more thousand on Sunday. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. Are the Bucs going to win by 9 or more points? I think they will win by 9 or more points. Will the Eagles rush for 100 plus yards? No, I don't think so. Again, Buccaneers, that's their strength of their defense. Granted, it is the strength of the Eagles offense, but I think the Bucs defense will go ahead and win that one outright. So give me no for 100 yards. How about this one? This is a game we haven't talked about yet. What about Cowboys 49ers? I think this is going to be a good game. Everybody's on the Cowboys, right? No, not this guy. I think the 49ers can go into Dallas and pull off the victory. You talk about a team that has a good defense. Obviously, Cowboys have a good defense. I just kind of like what they're doing. I don't know. It seems like the Cowboys are the one team, when you look at this weekend slate of games, you're like trying to pick an underdog. I kind of told you I do kind of like the Raiders to maybe pull off an upset. But if I look at this and say who can pull off an upset, yeah, I think the 49ers can definitely pull off the upset, like what they do on both sides of the ball. This one will be high scoring, though. This one will absolutely be high scoring, but I'm going to go ahead and take the 49ers in the win. The next one is over under 51.5 points. Over. Cowboys home game averaged 58 points. They had a couple games, I think it was 2 or 3, go in the 60s. Yeah, you score points in Dallas on both teams will be able to contribute to that over. So, yeah, I think that one goes way over 51.5 points. What will be the combined rushes, catches, pass attempts for Deebo Samuel? I got 12 or less. 12 or less. I mean, if the Cowboys really need to stop this guy, quite frankly, they're going to go ahead and pull off a victory. So they need to keep him under 12 or less. I think they'll end up doing that. Then the next one here is, will the Chiefs win by 13? I'm going to go ahead and say yes. I think they'll get it done. I know in the NBC Sports Predictor app, I picked 12 to 13. Go ahead and give me 13 plus. Will Roethlisberger longest pass? I'll say 16 to 30 yards. And then another game we haven't yet talked about is Cardinals Rams. That's Monday night. That's what makes a super NFL wildcard weekend, is we get a Monday night game. A little unfair to the winner. I don't know why the NFL, we know why the NFL did this. It's a money train. But boy, is it really unfair to whoever wins this game. Now they've got a short week in preparation. So don't like that from a competitive standpoint. But it's the money train in the NFL, so we all know why we do have to get a Monday Night Football. And as a fan, okay, as a fan, I like it. What else am I going to do on a Monday night? Go ahead and give me an exciting playoff game. This one's going to be good, though. I can't trust Matthew Stafford. I cannot trust Matthew Stafford. This team should be better than what they are, but Stafford I think he holds this team back. I mean, I'll just say it. He holds this team back. This team, from a defensive standpoint, they add pieces. They already had really good pieces. But Matthew Stafford, he's going to hold him back. Timely interceptions this guy keeps putting up. So I like the Cardinals in this one. I think the Cardinals can do it because of the Stafford issue. At least I can trust the Cardinals players. Everybody makes mistakes, but Stafford, you're gonna get mistakes. I think the Cardinals can play a clean game, relatively, so to speaking. So I'll go ahead and take the Cardinals. That one will be an upset right there. So go ahead and give me those Cardinals. What about over, under? I'm gonna take the under, right? If I'm gonna go on a limb and say the Cardinals can win this game, I think they're gonna win this game in a low-scoring affair. So I'll go ahead and take under 49.5 points. And then will there be a defensive touchdown there for the Cardinals? I'll just say no, man. That's just tough. I know Stafford will be throwing interceptions, but you got to be able to run it all the way back, however far it is. So I'll just go ahead and say none and hope that when Stafford throws a pick, it's not going to be a pick six. All right, guys, that's how we're going to do it on Super NFL Wildcard Weekend. Hey, drop a comment in this section. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Who do you guys have winning the games? Who do you guys maybe have as a score predictions? Go ahead and drop it in this comment. Let me know who you've got winning this game. And if you're going to put the Patriots in the comments, just be nice about it. Let me have my Saturday night. All right, guys, we can win a lot of money. We'll look forward to watching these games. Look forward to coming back to you guys in the divisional round. Good luck to your favorite team, unless it's the Patriots, and we'll see you back here next week. That was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and good luck with your picks. If interested in placing real sports bets, then check out my latest daily free sports betting video in the bottom right corner. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next contest.